Hello Internet, Demagen here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. It's day 3 of early access. The queue wasn't horrific this morning, it was about 25-30 minutes to get in. There was a post that came out earlier today saying that before 11 AM is probably your best time to get in. I actually started queuing at about 5 to 11 because that was just when I got up. And I've just been and got Sage 71, so I've got Scholar and Sage up into the kind of dungeon range level, and obviously Summoner comes with it. And Reaper is kind of in the mid 70s, so I've got things to be getting on with should I desire. But today we are launching into the second act of the game, which I'm assuming is going to take us to Garlemald. And I'm assuming this because the one thing that we haven't got here is Garlemald. And actually, can we? The specimen came from the moon. No, we can't do that yet. Because it was 83 that we needed to get to, wasn't it? So clearly there's some other requirement. Kryl and Grad here were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. 525 weapon. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholar Monteshane and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Stoll and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Nod. And it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphinaud can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a while. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Nice hat. Pity I'm a Vieira and can't wear it. Oh, speaking of the twins. Oh, Alphinaud's out here practicing, is he? If father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. Heading out for a stroll. The Scholar himself was here. Scholark, even. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphinaud, of all people worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater no less, will wonders never cease? He'll understand soon enough. Off we go. This is more gentle ribbing from the twins. I've got an Ethernet point, so I'm going to use it. I like the fact that you can just click on them. That is handy. And I like handy. Ah, that's still hot. Still hot and still horrible. It feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the mark of Thaliak, the Scholar, bearer of the Waters of Knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlene itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in the studium. Ah, yes, I see. And the fact that there's water on the roof as well. Hi, Kryl. What you got for me? Here it is. Phenomenon. While I expect you made notes of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? Yes. While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditorium, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the centre of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomena, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the Sixth Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete, and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in ethology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Trillian's foremost educational institute. The tour. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stomping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honours in magical arts and ethology, undisputed champion of the debated chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honours, and I'm certain not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Levier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Montishane. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Oh dear. Alphino's stomping grounds. Speak with the excitable student. Why is there a summoning bell here? Oh, I can't use it because I'm not in my home world. Which is kind of annoying, actually, because all of my sage gear I've put in the bank. That was Alphino Levier, wasn't it? The Alphino Levier. Oh, God. And he's with his sister, and Master Mildecin's granddaughter. This could only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word! Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the scholar, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Aliapo should have better idea. Oh, no. Oh, no. Which Aliapo is it here? Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time aboard has only heightened his fame. Wish that be infamy. He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave that up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Oh, speak of the devil. He spoke to me. He actually spoke to me. I assure you, I'll tell you all about it after my business with the scholar is concluded. Scholar, tell me, my good fellow, does this have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Why do we turn our attention to Master Levier's graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. It is true that your experiences overseas are the reason we've incurred the ire of the Forum. Oh, what I wouldn't give to see you butt heads with those old codgers. Hey. I was going to say you look quite familiar at a distance, but you don't actually. Moving on. Qui Eliapo. I'm assuming related to Chloe and Kim and the other Kardashians. I can't actually remember what the others are named. Where's my controller gone? Well, I assume she is related. Are you lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Ahem. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right. Books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal with. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pies are this, Tongue of Giganto that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest cleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no cleaner. So, what you're telling me is, you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a Skullock. I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can... Oh, you mean him? He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to make us meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts. Home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Ha! In the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Skullock has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. It's going to be one of those quests, is it? Yes, one assumes... Oh, I thought that the bird was in the case for a second, but it's not. It's somebody's minion. Phenomenon. Do 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 do. That's never getting old. Well, it will. I'm assuming through here. Whoop. Maker's Meat. It does not look like he's here. Hello, level-headed student. I forgot to click, didn't I? Yes, the Skullock was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums? This is essentially a tour quest. File, what you doing? Unsurprisingly, the Skullock is not in his office. I did, however, speak with one student who saw him not long ago, so he can't have gone far. Oop. That's a wall. We have not modelled out these rooms. Aha! I have you. Monty-shan. The Full Monty. That should be a quest title.
Ah, I remember you.
Echo-worded.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
I can't be seen with you. Piss off.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority...
Oh, did they vote in our favour then? I thought it was against us.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all.
Oh, I suppose
Though
it would
I'd
have.
like
They'd
to
have thrown
think
us
you would
out.
have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisois in a less dour setting.
Dour.
But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my eye.
So he's a peer of Louisois and Galuf. We've never seen Galuf, have we?
You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student.
Well, ain't that the truth?
Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Man after my own heart. Keeping in mind that his job is actually my job. A little wink.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss.
Oh, Alpha, no. Straight to
What
business.
can you tell us of this duty that the forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy.
But...
Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Oh, they've been gearsed.
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic.
That's why the person couldn't speak.
Entrusted with this duty have been bound by an
So it wasn't a
enchantment
tempering thing, it was a gears. I didn't
which
think of that.
prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's a reasonably common...
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture.
Well, it's been some time since I've sat through one.
Take a seat.
Quite well. Go on. Jeez, those are some desks, aren't they? Look at the two of them. They're back in school and they already love it.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology.
Oh, good.
The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two
Doing the hands behind the back thing.
incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Demogen thinks. Corporeal ether. Hand up. Hand up.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar.
Yes.
Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us.
It's the
this
stuff that we
form
use to
of
cast
ether
magic.
is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change.
Unless
The same can be said for memory,
you
as
are
the two are intrinsically linked.
Thancred. Couldn't think of his name for a second there. Thancred, obviously, his ether's well out of balance. Same with the Stola, actually. Whoop.
Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it.
Welcome to the studium. No, that doesn't say studium. What does that say? Welcome to the... I hate the Eorzean font. I'll look it up.
Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
Nice and high res, at least. Loop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Redacted.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago.
5 years ago,
And what
after the
might
Battle of
that have been?
Carthano. Forgetting the Warriors of Light.
Seventh Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events.
I'd forgotten about
followed
that
immediately
detail, actually.
afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act.
Interesting that should be brought up again.
The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
And yet they've done it anyway. Mysterious.
Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
And who gives you permission?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty.
So they can talk to each other about it.
Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
So take it to the graves.
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form.
Which is kind of what happens to the Sundadacians.
Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Alpha, no talking in class.
Well,
What?
I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
That would be a starter activity, one of my lessons. 10 minutes tops. With a practical activity to go with. Comedy.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may...
So I'm going to help you, even though I can't help you.
I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Cheers, ears. Am I allowed to say that to an elf?
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan. Her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Garlemald. Thank you. A little chuckle randomly. Sound the bell. School's in. You've been granted the run of Phenomenon. If you are game, Kia Aliapo will put your artisanry to good use. Yay. Oh. While Scholar Monteshane is best known for his role as head of the studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease with which he weaves extraordinary complex and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. Some of my earliest memories were of Scholar Monteshane, actually. He was a close friend of our grandfather. He'd come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. It's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place. Aww. Okay, so we've got... a new weapon. Hydurium Greatsword. Let's put that on. I actually quite like this this weapon. It reminds me very much of like a Nidhogg style thing. It may even be based on it, I don't know. Alright, onwards. A capital idea. 525 chest. Okay, so these will be upgrades. Pride is still digesting a rather hefty portion of food for thought. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny. I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Kialiopo, as the scholar suggested. Will I share our findings with Raha? I could do, but... yeah, so that's just for hand and land stuff, which obviously I don't have anything anywhere near 80. Do I have anything even near 60? No. Just an FYI, that's what my crafting amounts to. So, not exactly a crafter, me. That's fine. Not everything is for everybody. And it's not like I play all hours of the day, so... right, where are you? In the main hall. It says, right there. Just realised that my chat is set to Alliance. Did an Alliance raid last night. We ended up going to the Ridoana Cataract because of course we did, and it took an hour and there was a lot of death because it's a level 71 and they're all a little bit too long. Stadium returned not long after we departed for the studium. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the scholar. Or perhaps not. Having spent most of the time in Thavnir, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the annex proved a challenge. You can jump. Get a bird's eye view. You better not let your guard down around Key. One small favour becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Nice callback there. Thank you, good writers. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as the Scarlet said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. Seems to have done an adequate job of relaying Scholar Monteshane's lecture to Raha. Given his experiences in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. True. Fair chunk of XP in that. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from my fellow scions. As expected, news of the Warding Scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. So, the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Nod. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? She does like spending time with him, doesn't she? Boxes. Phew! Didn't realise these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vita and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. You're not coming with us? As much as I'd like to escape the Forum's watchful gaze, I've left little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. Do we not get to go to see Matoya? The tide is about to turn. Nautical pun. Thank you, Alphino. To Limsa! Okay then. I shall use one of my many Maelstrom Aetherite tickets. Though I've actually got other things to spend my Grand Company seals on now. Boxes of minions and mounts. Command room is down at the bottom of the lift, isn't it? Hi, Xanthiel. Been a while. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seedseer and the Sultana. Three of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Now it shall be 4. Nod. Ladies, gentlemen. My apologies for calling you away from Charlene at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honoured and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It was only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warning scales and our ability to utilise their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlene, the Allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, the surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal and Ananta has given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Vazat-Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they served the Telophoi's every whim without question. They too were victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. Quite right, Nanamo. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, and we simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask that in choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred Uyange observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the tower's up was toppled, we'd fail to make any headway, and the same could be said of the Telophoi. There's certainly no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spires' primary... Oops, damn it. This would appear to be substantiated by Stoller's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Sot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it were being redirected to the largest spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we've uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and the Scales to join the Ilsbar contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Wow, give us time to think. But we kind of planned to anyway, hadn't we? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. No. For the people of Garlemald. Couldn't have put it better myself. Ishtola, Thancred and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Yeah, because that would have been awkward otherwise. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabard. Raban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon arrival. Hat, warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophorai so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Ba, ba, ba. Dramatic music. Okay. Speak with Raban in the Alamigan Quarter. Okay, we're going all the way over to Girabania. And why not? The locks. Where's he hiding? Minotaurs on my mind. Hello, people. Emmerich! Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go like a gallicat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him. Probably. He's right here! If Emmerich asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the court. They're right next to each other! Is that an oversight? I must quiz Thancred and Urianger and the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? Will I need to keep my ears covered? They can be a bit sensitive at times. I'll admit, this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We're standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance's finest, the best of the best, the warrior of light, and, well, me. It's silly, I know, perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worrying about, marching into Garlemald. You know, I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Ilsabard contingents. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? No, I do not bet. Raban! Give me some voice acting. That beautiful northern voice. Damn. Ah, the Wanderer's return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingents? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organise the various delegations into cohesive units. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And, just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out... Everything's gone glowy. Is Ixion around? The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Guardians has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Huh. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I'd do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Amyrick's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Elsebard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Oh, hi guys. Word of your exploits travels quickly. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion has been a minor one, that being the information I've shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So, you're not coming with us? Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telotho have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varys and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Elsebard contingent, I'd give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilising the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I'd only hinder your efforts. I'm all glowy. For what it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I'm certain of it. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. Would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might ask you to escort our friends inside. But we're all shiny and I want to go and fight Ixion. You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. A capital idea. And updates. There we go. Quick clearing. Yeah, this is the weather for Ixion, but Ixion's not actually up. I don't even know what the fate for Ixion is called. Right, a pewter gear chest coffer. High durium armor offending. Oh, that's shiny. That's the same model as something that we've already had. Yeah, just get it. It's so pretty. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Underestimated at your peril. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget there are civilians in Garlemald too, when the only Imperials they've ever known are soldiers. With the knowledge that our allies will hold the line in our absence, we may devote our attention to the Elsebardian front. So, that's Gaius Balsar. The horrors he must have seen. Many of his own making, I do not doubt. Like Gaius, I too stand accused of Varys' murder, though I am rather less recognisable on sight. Still, it's something to bear in mind once we reach Garlemald. I neglected to mention earlier that we received a report from our troops that may be of interest to you. While engaged with the lunar primal, a great worm swooped down from the skies above and came to their aid. The worm, as described, was the spitting image of Tiamat. It would seem she too continues to wage war against the Telothroi. Sweet! Once we've seen the contingent on its way, I will return to my duties here in Alamigo. As many of our most capable were travelling with you to Garlemald, we who remain will have to fight that much harder to make up the difference. But let no man say I do not welcome the challenge. Aye, this old bull isn't ready to hang up his horns yet. Speaking of, where's Pippin? Is Pippin going to be coming with us? Blood of Emerald, yeah, I'm so far. I never did do that. I really should have done. Right, that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to leave us in the shiny, sparkly weather conditions. I assume Ixian's going to spawn at some points, but I've no idea what the conditions are for doing that. But yeah, we're going to come back, and I guess we're going to meet up with the Ilsebardian contingent and head up to Garlemald. Probably with some exciting words from everybody's favourite snarky narrator, Selk. So far, so good. Bit of a kind of bridging episode, this. You know, learning about the Geas that's been put on the forum members was quite interesting. They were a little bit long. And now we've got to go and help out Garlemald, which I'm actually quite looking forward to. Because, you know, I've been looking forward to going to Garlemald for ages. Kind of a shame that actually it will be a bit of a wreck by the time that we get there, but it is what it is. So, until next time, folks, thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you did, hit the old like button. And I will catch you next time for more Endwalking. Stay safe. Toodlepip.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.